If you want a sporty look and an aggressive sound profile for your 2015 through 2020 5.0 F-150, this Carven exhaust R Series single-side exit exhaust system with the ceramic black tips is a catback that you should consider. Now, this system wakes up the 5-liter with a big increase in volume and a big drop in tone, as you just heard from the sound clip, getting itself a 4 out of 5 on the loudness meter, with 1 being stock and 5 being Wake the Neighbors loud. Now, with the huge change in sound, it's a quality choice made of top-tier materials, and it's also great for the appearance with these sharp dual tips right at the back of the tire, which cleans up the look and adds that extra edge that you may be looking for when it comes to your truck. Now, this kit features Carven's most aggressive R-Series muffler, which is this small little muffler here welded right into the piping, which offers a powerful tone to the exhaust and really ramps up the volume to make sure that your truck is noticed. That's great for the exhaust enthusiast that really wants to hear their system and doesn't mind some interior cab noise or a small amount of drone when you're driving, especially if you're heavier on the throttle. Now, thanks to the big increase in flow compared to the restricted factory system, it also helps with sound as well as performance, being a great supporting mod if you're looking to get some more power out of your V8. Now, the dual angle cut 4-inch tips on the back in matte black are also just the cherry on top, finishing the back and matching with other black or dark accents that you currently have on your F-150. Now, this entire system here is made of a quality 304 stainless steel material, being some of the most durable stainless available for your exhaust, which completely eliminates rust from forming and keeps the appearance and structure even in tougher and saltier climates. And the tips also have that extra layer of protection with a durable matte black finish to offer further corrosion resistance and, of course, add to the look. Now, the entire system is also 3 inches in diameter and mandrel bent for smooth airflow, and it has a fully TIG welded construction for a long-lasting and reliable build. Now, this is about $875, which isn't half bad when it comes to the price point and comparing it to other systems like it. Now, this is a high quality system made of 304 stainless. It has a sharp look on the back and a very aggressive sound profile that you really can't miss, which makes this stand out compared to some other entry-level options that may not be as throaty as this system or made with the same materials. Now, with that being said, if you are looking for a moderately priced yet high quality system for your 5-liter that looks and sounds the part, then this is a great choice for you. Install is a lighter 2 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter, and it should take about 2 hours or so in order to install this. Now, at this point, I'm going to hand it over to one of our installers. They're going to show you a detailed breakdown on how you can bolt this up to your F-150 at home. So that wraps it up for me. Let's go ahead and get into the install.
For this install, you will need various impacts, a ratchet, 10, 13, 15, and 17 millimeter sockets, a hanger removal tool, a dead blow mallet, and also not shown here is an extra set of hands for your stock exhaust. Alright, today we're going to be doing an exhaust on our F-150, but before we get started, we're going to send you to watch a quick video on how to remove your factory exhaust, and we'll see you when you get back.
So first step here for our install, we're going to grab our 13 millimeter socket on the U-joint. We're going to loosen up the flange up near our catalytic converters, and that will basically let our exhaust sit in the exhaust hanger isolator. So at that point, all we're going to do is lubricate them, slide the whole thing back, and since we're on a lift, we'll be able to pull the whole exhaust out in one piece. Now, if you are working on the ground, you won't have as much room as I do. You might have to make a couple cuts to get this out, but it's just as simple as that. So this one is a little bit tough to get to, but it should come right out. And same thing goes with this one. The U-joint here is almost a must if you want to use the impact. If you're using a ratchet, it should clear no problem. So now our exhaust is loose at the front. We just need to lubricate these rubber hanger isolators so we can slide our exhaust back and out. For that, I'm going to use PB Blaster here. You could use white lithium grease. As you can see, this one has had on it before. So we're just going to give this a shot here on both sides. So now we can take our exhaust hanger removal tool and we're just going to work that out. So now we have 2 more hangers supporting our exhaust, and all we're going to do for this one right above our muffler is grease it up. For now, You can see it doesn't have that barb at the end, so we're gonna leave this in just to support our exhaust. We're gonna grease up the other one, and then we can slide this whole thing back. So this last one here, right on our tailpipe, again, we're just gonna hit it with some PV Blaster. And again, this doesn't have the barb on it either. So now we should be good to push this whole exhaust back and pull it off of our truck.
All right, so for this system, we're gonna be reusing our factory resonated section, so we'll need to take that off from the rest of our exhaust. Now this is held in by one clamp with a 15mm nut on it. So we're gonna grab our 15mm socket and a dead blow hammer, and we're gonna get this loose and get this off. All right, so now we'll loosen up our 15mm nut. You want that to be plenty loose so your clamp has room to loosen up. And we're gonna take our dead blow mallet and smack our resonator lightly and separate our resonated section. So now we're gonna grab our factory isolator and hangers off of our factory system so we can reuse those. So I've got a hanger removal tool. Pop these off. This tail one is a little stubborn sometimes. Then we'll remove our muffler one as well. All right, so now we can begin installing our new setup. We're gonna start by reinstalling our factory resonated section. So we'll get it up over our cross member and get it lined up with our 2-bolt flange and reinstall our 2 factory 13mm bolts just loosely for now. We're not gonna tighten them fully just yet. We've got our resonated section. Get that lined up with our flange. Get our 2 bolts back in. All right, so now we've got our mid-pipe / muffler section ready to go in. We're gonna install that factory cross-member isolator mount onto our rear hanger. Just slide that on, just like so. You wanna make sure the mounting tab that goes into it is facing towards the pipe and not away. And then we'll get this into our factory resonated section as well as our factory isolator. All right, so we'll get this into the isolator first. Line that up, push that all the way through. We'll get this lined up with our resonator. Get that fully seated. All right, so now we'll push our middle hanger up and into position. Line that tab up, get that in. And then we can reinstall our 10mm bolt. Now we've got our 10mm socket on our impact. Line our 10mm bolt up. Take a little wiggling. All right, so now we're ready for our tail section. The first thing we're gonna need to do is grab our provided clamp and slide that over our muffler section. So we'll do that first, just to get that into place. Then we're gonna take our tail section and get our factory isolator onto our hanger. Now you wanna make sure the inner bracket is facing the right way on the inside of the frame rail for this. Slide that on. And we're gonna slide this over our axle and get it lined up and onto our muffler section. And now we'll get our slip joint lined up for our over axle and tail section. All right, so now that we have our slip joint over our resonant muffler section, we'll get our 10mm bolts back into our isolator. We got our 10mm socket, it's lined up. Then you want to get your inside frame rail mounting bolt in as well. We no longer have ours due to many previous installs, but you definitely want to reinstall that. Now we can install our tip, so we'll slide it over our outlet. And this already has a clamp welded to it. Make sure that's fully seated, make sure that's not touching your plastic trim on your bed. And we're gonna grab our socket and impact and tighten this down. Now we're gonna tighten our tip clamp down. We've got our 17mm socket on our impact. We're gonna hold this in position. Make sure that's sitting how you want it. All right, so now we can get our slip joint clamp onto our tail section. So once you've got your clamp flush with your slip joint, grab our 17 mil socket and tighten this down. Now it may try to move on you. All right, so now we're going to tighten down our factory resonator clamp with our 15 mil socket on a ratchet. All right, so now we're going to tighten down our two 13 millimeter flange bolts with our 13 mil socket on our ratchet. Now you want to tighten these evenly so that your flange clamps on a flat plane. That's nice and tight. Alrighty, that about wraps up our review and install of our Carven Exhaust R-Series single exhaust system with ceramic black tips and side exits for your 15 to 25 liter F-150. Thanks for watching, and as always, for everything F-150, keep it right here at AmericanTrucks.com.